Crusaders, it's Sophia and welcome back to another episode of Saderview. I hope you all had a really good break and winter term. Here to start off today's episode is Lucy with the Valentine's Day Cupcake DIY.
Hey Crusaders, it's almost Valentine's Day, so we're making chocolate covered strawberries. All you need are strawberries and chocolate chips. First, you have to microwave the chocolate chips. Now all you have to do is dip the strawberries in the chocolate. Now we just have to decorate them.
Thanks, Lucy. Now we have a sports briefing from Jeremy, SMCA's resident sports broadcaster.
Crusader Nation, welcome back to another week of the Crusader Sports Report, the first in 2021. I'm your host, Jeremy McMahon, and as always, we will be recapping and looking ahead for the varsity girls and boys basketball teams, the baseball team, the girls and boys soccer teams, and the girls and boys golf teams. However, before I dive into these teams, it has been a while since the Saderview was on air, and I want to recognize the fall sports teams on their accomplishments, starting with the football team, who had a total of 15 players recognized as either All-District or All-State honors in TAPS Division II, as well as 8 players getting recognized in the Padilla Poll, which is a very established and well-known poll throughout the state of Texas, known by hundreds of coaches. In addition to these player successes, your Crusaders were TAPS Division II area champions, and they were also in the postseason for the first time in 8 years. Hats off to Coach Jeff Dykes and his staff for really turning this program around. Moving on from the football program, the Lady Crusaders volleyball team had 6 players taking home either All-State or All-District honors. They also finished in a 3-way tie for first place in TAPS 5A District 3 with Brentwood and Hyde Park. Congrats to Coach Sarah Silverdale and her team on a great season. The Crusader cheer program also had a good showing at the TAPS State Championships, placing in the top 10 and having 3 cheerleaders taking home either All-State or honorable All-State mentions. I also want to take a moment to thank the Crusader cheer program for their support at football games this season. It definitely made the game day atmosphere better. The Crusaderettes also had a good showing at the TAPS State Championships, taking home several All-State honors and All-District honors. For Coach Lauren Parra and her team, I also want to thank the Crusaderettes for their support as well at the football games by providing an enhanced atmosphere at Crusader Stadium, even if it was only 25% capacity. Thank you to all of our fall sports athletes for their hard work and dedication to Crusader Nation. Now, moving on to the sports that are currently in action. Starting with the Lady Crusaders basketball team coming off 3 straight victories over St. Anthony, TMI Episcopal, and Hyde Park, with the Regents game looming Tuesday night, and that game is at 6:30. Your Lady Crusaders come into the Regents game with an excellent 11-2 record in TAPS 5A District 3, second behind Bernie Geneva, who's 13-0. After the Regents game is senior night versus St. Mary's Hall this Thursday at 5 p.m. This will be the last game at the Carter for seniors Emily Schaefer, Addie Early, and Emily Cook. Come out and support if you can, or watch on Vibe Live. Then on Friday, the final game of the regular season versus Providence Catholic in San Antonio, this Friday at 6:15. Come out and support if you can, or tune in on Vibe. Moving on to the boys varsity basketball team, who are riding high. They're winners of their last 6 games. Last Tuesday, however, might have been the final time for the 7 seniors: Griffin Hahn, Cade Colleen, Max Lemke, Austin Poor, Michael Milner, Joseph Meyer, and Daniel Sarno will have played in the Carter. Seniors Austin Poor and Max Lemke also made their first career high school starts that night, so congrats to both Austin and Max. Your Crusaders are back on the hardwood Tuesday night at Regents with tip-off at 8 p.m. Carter Crazies, SMCA students, you guys need to be there for all 4 quarters to overcome the Regents Rowdies. Then, they wrap up the regular season at St. Mary's Hall on Friday. That game is at 8 p.m. Moving on to the baseball team, who started off the 2021 campaign with a statement 12-1 victory over St. John Paul II, and a 10-3 victory also over St. John Paul II. Congrats to head coach Gerald May for getting his first 2 career victories as the head coach of the Crusaders. Your Crusaders are back on the diamond this Friday versus St. Dominic Savio at 6 p.m. I also want to take a moment to congratulate junior Grant Farlander on his commitment to the University of Oregon. Mark Olkowski is getting one of the best. Moving on to the Crusader soccer teams, who have had some success on the soccer field as of late, with the girls winners of their last 5 games. They are heading into the regular season finale and the senior night game versus Hyde Park with lots of momentum. Congrats to head coach Tim Keys and his squad on a great season so far. The boys will look to cap off a successful season Monday at St. Anthony's. This weekend, the St. Michael's boys varsity golf team competed in the 85th annual Dodson Evans Invitational, Friday and Saturday, at Cola Vista Golf Club and Wolf Dancer Golf Club. Your Crusaders placed in the top 10 and were the only private school in the tournament. The St. Michael's girls varsity golf team competed in the Marble Falls Invitational Friday and Sunday at Lake Cliff Golf Club and Hidden Falls Golf Club. They battled through tough conditions, including an hour delay on the first day. Congratulations to all Crusader athletes and teams who competed over the past week and weekend, and good luck this coming week. And as always, go Crusaders!
Thanks for catching us up, Jeremy. Next, we have Cole and Jack with their Seder on the Street segment. Let's see what they were up to this week.
Hey, it's Jack and Cole. I know it's been a while, but we're back with Seder on the Street, and we're going to be asking the students what they got for Christmas.
My favorite thing I got for Christmas was an iPad.
The new Austin FC soccer jersey.
My favorite thing I got for Christmas was a lacrosse stick.
I got a hefty amount of V-Bucks.
My favorite thing I got for Christmas was new shoes.
Is it going?
Yeah, sorry.
My favorite thing I got for Christmas this year was my shoes.
Heat check, heat check, heat check, heat check.
Thanks, Cole and Jack. Now I'm going to pass it over to Lily with this week's positive story about saving the polar bears.
Hey Crusaders! On December 7, 2020, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit rejected an offshore drilling project in the Arctic. This ruling has protected and preserved a biodiverse ecosystem of Foggy Island Bay where the rig would have been built. The Trump administration approved Hilcorp Alaska's Liberty Oil project in 2018, but it was immediately hit with lawsuits against the permits. Many of the arguments to the court were about CO2 emissions and how this drilling project would affect the global environment. Rejecting the project is a major victory for Alaska's polar bears because it saves a critical part of their denning habitat. Foggy Island Bay is home to many endangered and threatened marine animals, including polar bears, sea lions, sea otters, 3 species of seals, 6 species of whales, and Pacific walruses. Many species of fish, seabirds, and large mammals often visit the waters of the bay as well. If you are looking for ways to help polar bears, you can visit polarbearsinternational.org, where scientists have put together a long list of ways to help. They have found that the actions with the greatest impact are those taken against global warming, since the Arctic sea ice is essential for polar bear survival and is being greatly affected by climate change. Some of the many ways you can help are to try and use more sustainable products and lifestyle habits, purchase locally grown foods and reduce meat consumption, minimize consumption by reducing and recycling, and spreading awareness about climate change and how it affects our polar bears.
Now, we were recently informed by a groundhog that we have 6 more weeks of winter, so it's only fitting that next we have Joe with a movie review of the movie Groundhog Day.
Hello Crusaders, I'm Joe Eichhorst and welcome back to another movie review. Today we are talking about the movie Groundhog Day. The movie's about a selfish weatherman who somehow is reliving the same day over and over and over again. Where to start? It's funny. Yeah, it's really funny. Like Mr. D said, he thinks it's one of the best comedy scripts of all time, and I would agree. It stars Bill Murray, who is one of the funniest comedy actors of all time. We follow Phil through this long journey and we get to see how he reacts to it, what he does, and most importantly, how it changes him. After going through many days of just bitterness, revolt, and despair, he finally decides to do something else. He decides to learn. And through learning, he starts to care about people other than himself. It's an incredibly funny movie while also being very endearing. Bill Murray does an incredible job and it holds up very well, and I highly recommend this movie to anyone.
Well, that's all for this week's episode. I hope you all have a productive week. Don't forget to wear your masks and socially distance. See you next time, Crusaders.